Hi all, my name is Dhyani, and in this video we'll talk about Dynamics NAV and Business Central license file. And the reason I'm recording this video is that request came from Stephen via LinkedIn, and I thought it's an interesting topic. There are certain aspects of the license and how you upload them, what options are available in Dynamics NAV and Business Central, and then how all these licensing options impact with the SaaS offerings. So thanks Stephen for requesting this, and let's start. So a license file for Dynamics NAV or Business Central comes up with an extension .flf. It'll look something like this, the file name, and then ends with an extension .flf. And there are multiple ways that you can deploy this license on the database or on the server. In this video we'll cover all the scenarios, all the options for on-prem, and we'll also then discuss about licenses in Business Central SaaS or BC Online. So let's start by seeing how we can upload the license in a database, and this is for on-prem. So open your development environment and open your database. Let's say this. Now there are two ways that you can upload a license, and it depends on where you are doing it. If you are a developer and you want to make sure that your license is available for all the databases, then you can choose an upload. If you have a license, a customer license, which you want on one specific database that's in your SQL Server, then you can choose save license in database. So let's see what all that means. So first thing that I recommend all the time, because I work with some databases or doing development for my customers, and I want to make sure that while I'm doing it, I'm using customer license, so that I know that am I going outside their license object limits or not, and things like that. So in that case, what I'll do is I'll go to File, Database, and then Alter. Once you go to Alter, there are multiple tabs, as you can see, but there is a tab called Integration, and in the Integration tab there is an option to save license in database. So once you click on save license in database and click OK, it'll ask you to pick the license file. So I'll copy the path, and then you can choose a license. That's one way. Now this license which I just added or saved in the database only applies to this database called test. All other database will have no impact of this license. Now what if you are a developer and you want your development license to be added in all the databases that you have? In that case, instead of doing File, Database, Alter, you actually go to Tools and choose License Info. Once you are there, you can choose Upload. When you do an upload, this actually saves the license in the server, in the SQL server where you are connected to. Instead of a database, it actually stores the license into the server. And when there is a license on the server, that applies to all the database which are inside that SQL server. So that's another option. I would recommend it only for developers, and because customer can have NAV databases and other databases in the SQL server, so they should always use File, Database, Alter integration tab and save license in database. Now whenever you do a change in license or upload a license, you need to make sure that you restart your service that is mapped to the database. Until unless you restart the service, your license impact will not happen on your clients. So when you restart your service, now your license is added into the database and it's applicable for all the users who are using that particular service. Now this restarting of service is applicable if you are using role tailor client. If you are still on very previous version like 2009 or before, then you don't need to restart the service because there is no service. So let's open our client and see the change in the license. Having said that, while this is opening, let's talk about where they actually get stored. Okay, so I have a license which is a demo license, and it only allows me to have 2 non-demo company because I have changed the name. So I cannot run my client because I have changed the license. So that makes sense now. Now we were talking about where these licenses actually get saved, or when we do either file database alter integration, or if we do tools license information upload. So if you go to your SQL Server and under databases, and right now we are talking about when you do an upload of license. So when you do an upload of license, it actually gets stored inside your master database. There should be a table called DBO NDO DBO server property, and inside this there is a image field or license field which stores your license. This. So there is a license on my server. The other option, when you choose file database alter integration, save license in database, the similar table exists in your specific database also. So let's go and see here, and because there will be so many tables, I'll just do a filter. So I'll do $NDO dot not dot $DB, and that should find it. So if you see, there is also a table here which have other details, but then there is a field in that table which is image, which keeps the information of your license. If I'm not wrong, that used to be called as license or image. Let me see. License, yes. And these all other are your Dynamics NAV or Business Central database details, all of the fields. But this field contain my license information in my database. So when you do alter database, it gets inside your database in this table. If you do a upload license, then it goes into your master database with the same table name. Now why it is important to know, in some cases when you do an upload license and that license expire, your development environment can act a little bit tricky. You can't open it, and in that case you can remove this info from this table, and only in case of upload. Now there was one more option, and I don't want to skip that. When you go to license info, there's another option to change. Now when you do a change, that change license is only applicable to the session that you are opening. It doesn't get stored in your database or not in your SQL Server. It is just for the instance when you are working on it. Where will be the situation where you use this? If you are actually doing some development or on the customer server where you want to modify an object or maybe export a text file of certain objects, then instead of doing an upload or save license, you will just use change license, choose your license, do whatever you want to do, and close your development environment. That change will not impact your customer database. So that was all about on-prem licensing. Now Stephen's question was also around Business Central Online or BC SaaS licensing. So while doing that research, because I knew there is no license file, but I wanted to be more sure about it. I wanted to have a actual article from Microsoft to talk about it. So while doing this research, I found out that Business Central does not use the classic Dynamics NAV or license file or on-prem license file, let's put it this way. Instead of using license file, what online version does, that it assigns permission based on entitlements, and the permission is per object wise in the entitlement table, which is a table in Business Central. So here is the link for more info on it if you want to read it, which is licensing in Dynamics 365 Business Central. Let's go through it quickly, which is Business Central license can only be purchased through CSP, and there are different type of license based on users: essential, premium, team member, and external accounts. And this is the section which I was referring earlier, which is Business Central does not use the classic NAV license file. The permissions are generated based on entitlements. Microsoft defines license permission in the entitlement table, and then there is a linkage with Azure directory. What that means is when a user purchases, and let's say an essential license, and tries to sign in Business Central, we retrieve the user service plan from Azure AD and then load the corresponding entitlement as license permission. So to sum it up, and you can read about it, I'll put the link in the video description. There is no license file on Business Central Online, and there is no need to kind of having a license file on online version. While I was researching about it, I found out that I actually written an article I don't know when, in 2015 about the licensing, and the same options which I discussed today are also listed here. All the screenshot, what impacts when you do change, upload, and license. So that all, I guess, is what I can think about licensing. I'm pretty sure you know how objects are purchased, what sets are available, how that impacts and all. So I hope you find this video useful. Stay connected. I can give you a little bit insight. There are so many topics that I have already received requests from different people, and they are in queue. They will be available as soon as possible. So there is a lot coming into this YouTube channel. So if you like this video, please share this video, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel, do subscribe it so that you get notification whenever there is a new update in this channel. Please share your views, suggestions as comment to this video. Have a great day and see you next time.